Hey everyone, today I'm looking at The Witcher 3, and this is kind of a weird video for me to make because I really did not like this game, and I was very confused. And I say this with a semblance of surprise and curiosity. I remember I tried The Witcher 2 when it came on Game Pass a few years ago, because Witcher 3, when it came out in 2015, won every Game of the Year award, won every whatever award. It was the big deal. And for those who don't know, it's based off a bunch of Polish novels, which I think the author spurned the studio on giving the rights to, or something. So I had played a lot of my Xbox games, and I saw this finally, special edition including Netflix and whatever content, and so I said, all right, it's time to experience, Polish Kino. And so I bought it, popped in the disc, loaded it up, Xbox Series X version with all of the, extra DLC and stuff and whatever, all the patches, so they could have fixed it at any time. This is their prize and gem. And, the same people who got everyone hyped for Cyberpunk. And so I boot it up and I play it, and it is legitimately awful. Not at first though, because when you just see the game, cinematic. So first of all, I want to get the good parts out of the way, because these are very impressive aspects of The Witcher. Voice acting, dialogue and writing, and graphics. Graphically, this game is very impressive, and it's quite something. I was really actually super impressed with how it looks, and the environments and all that stuff. I guess where things started to go wrong is when I actually got into the open world and into combat. So you get to the point where you're at that tree and you get attacked by goblins or something. And the sword-to-sword combat, while it looks flashy, it feels extremely floaty. I had no sort of feedback or vibration. I didn't feel like there weren't any impact sounds when I was hitting the enemy. This was an Xbox Series X. I don't know if that version is messed up or not. This is the thing. I keep going through this experience where I feel like I'm gaslit because everyone has said this game is amazing, and I'm playing it, and it's just not good. That being said, I do love Geralt. I love Ciri. I love all the characters. The characters and the writing are great because, of course, it's based on a book. So, of course, the writing and characters and setting and whatever are great. The actual combat, though, I was playing it, and even the way Geralt moves is similar to more so The Witcher 2, which I thought was very kind of broken, well, not broken, but very archaic in a lot of ways. And Witcher 3 doesn't feel like a huge improvement to it, and it's very puzzling to me. On top of that, I got on my horse, I started going through the town, and people did react to my horse, but they were kind of almost phasing through. Like they didn't have collision or anything. They just, they moved, but if you really hit them, they would just kind of go through, and there wouldn't be a huge consequence. And I'm thinking to myself, this is 2015, and Assassin's Creed had better horse physics collision in 2006, a decade old. And again, we're not competing between who has the better collision or mechanics from year to year or time to time. I'm simply looking at the games as they are, and as they are, it's really frustrating to play this thing and to feel like it is something that just doesn't feel good to play. I'll be honest with you. And then it goes, further. So I love the whole concept, though, of hunting down these monsters like the Griffin and finding clues, and this whole kind of investigation sequence leading up to the actual fighting of the monster. and I love the pacing of it. It's really nice too. But then you go to actually fight the monster, and it's cool. They have this magic wheel system. You have your sword, light attack, heavy attack, but it felt just really bad. Yeah, I was thinking of games like Drakengard, where okay, you're hitting guys and killing them over and over and over again, but at least it felt kind of impactful a little bit. I just did not feel that here with The Witcher at all. The world itself is also fairly interesting. I mean, it's medieval, Poland, essentially, or not medieval, but kind of Renaissance almost age, or high medieval rather is the right term. And no, it's fine, it's nice, but again, there's nothing in the story that is really gripping or that's not hooking you. It's like, okay, Geralt's a cool guy, he's trying to find Ciri in the first act at least, he's trying to find Yennefer and then Ciri, but that whole sort of first act, it's kind of like, okay, here's a character and he's looking for another character, and you don't really have a good establishment of what their relationship is, except that they were lovers at one point. And so I don't know, there was no hook, like, oh, I need to find this character to find out what happens to her, I need to find this out, I need to keep going. So I don't know what to say. And I got to the point where I defeated the Griffin, I turned in that quest, and I just thought, that's the full kind of arc of the gameplay, where you have this story, characters, world, everything, and combat that I just really despised, movement that I just really despised. I did not like it. It felt not even janky, just super floaty, which in my opinion is much worse. And I'm just sitting there thinking, this just isn't very good. I don't know what else to say. Like, and I just felt gaslit. Like, this is what people were losing their minds over, and I can't help but think that the only way this makes sense is because The Witcher has been a primarily PC game, and PC gamers at the time, this was something that they kind of was made for their platform. And so even though they made it multi-platform and whatever for console, they felt like it was their thing and they needed to like it or something. And yeah, I'm sure there's probably a great story and characters to revolve around here, or evolve. But I just can't stomach the gameplay. I really expected better. This is the game of the year, setting standards in the industry kind of game. And if the combat is like this, it's shocking. I don't doubt for a second that the characters are great and the story and all of that, but I'd rather just watch a Let's Play, to be frank with you. And it's been a very weird experience playing this, because again, I feel gaslit. I feel lied to, that everyone loves this game and adores it, and then you actually play it and you realize, wow, this is like a poor man's Assassin's Creed almost in some ways. And I feel like this is kind of game that also inspired games like Kingdom Come Deliverance in a certain style. I mean, that means that and Skyrim, a more sort of realistic medieval adventure. I really don't know what else to say. It's just, I'm just very shocked and floored that, regardless of this being a bad or good game in any objective opinion, I simply don't like it, and I am shocked that is the case. I'm just like, I'm used to people saying, oh yeah, this amazing game in the 90s or whatever, because I just finished another great game I played was Ape Escape, and people like it, that was really, really fun. And it's old, it's not exactly up to par, up to standards. Like, I love certain old games because, well, a good game stays good forever. And just, I don't know, and you could tell that's mostly a PC focused game, because the hyper focused attention to detail, all the sub menus and other menus, and the game, it's not bad, but it's not AAA masterpiece that changed the industry in 2015. And the only thing I'm thinking of is that in 2013, they had a bunch of investor capital come into the market and a lot of corporatization and whatever. And I can't, and this thing eventually got a Netflix show, which is kind of like they get the checkmark approval from the mainstream corporate world that this is okay to like and produce and for normies to consume. And I really just can't help but this is some backroom deal that got super popular and pushed regardless of its quality. And I really hate to say that because I really wanted to like this game. I legitimately came into this expecting, okay, it's gonna pull me in. Like I won't be able to resist playing. I was actually offended. I was repulsed by how the game operates, by how it functions. Even Red Dead in 2012, a few years before this, if your horse, like I'm not like a Mr. Physics, I'm not Mr. Technical, but I expect people to react semi-realistically. And if you're not reacting semi-realistically and you're not doing something technically super gameplay impressive, then I expect your story to be really, really, really good and pull me in. This feels like a very mid, run-of-the-road, run-of-the-mill experience. And I don't want to feel that. I literally want to like this game. I literally want to reinstall it and give it another chance, but I know I'm not going to play it. I just know that that's the case. Again, I love the character, I love the voice acting, I love almost everything else besides the gameplay in this game. And usually that's enough for me to stick with it, but in this case it's not. So I feel really, I don't know, just overall very, very strange about this entire scenario. It's and again, I mean, because it's a PC game, they love their graphics, right? So I guess there's that. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about it, except I feel gaslit. I felt like this was a corporate, industry plant or something, in some sense. And overall, I guess I'm just not going to play it. Sorry. Bye.